Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining my live stream. I am here today to talk about the 30-day Record Yourself Challenge. And I'm actually doing something a little interesting today. Rather than just live streaming on YouTube, I am live streaming simultaneously on YouTube and Instagram. So I've already had the Instagram live stream going for a few minutes. I have a few people already suggesting some great topics and some great suggestions for the 30-day Record Yourself Challenge. And so I figured we would get an even bigger group and work together with my subscribers on YouTube and my followers on Instagram. And we'll have a conversation between ourselves. I've already had a great suggestion from one user on Instagram that didn't even occur to me before doing this live stream or during the first 30-day Record Yourself Challenge. And in fact, by the way, before I go any further, if you're not aware of what the 30-day Record Yourself Challenge is, it's 30 days. It's just what it sounds like. 30 days of recording yourself speak your target language and uploading it to Instagram or YouTube or somewhere for other people to see. Okay. Short videos, 1 minute long max. And I have a schedule of different topics that we're going to talk about, one for each day, so that you never run out of things to talk about in your target language. You just wake up in the morning, you look at the schedule for the day, you read the topic, and then you record yourself talking about that topic. CSF Canola says, Judd here in San Francisco, at least for a little while. Thanks for the live stream. Hey, thanks for joining. Thanks for the comments. So I suppose, oh, hi, I learned Norsk. I don't know how to say that. I don't speak Norwegian, but thanks for joining. Appreciate the support. All right. I guess in order to start it off, I should go back and read one of my posts from a while back. Where is it? All right. Soon after I finished the original, hello, Christian, thanks for joining. I recently did the 30-day record myself in Russian. Oh, cool. I don't think I saw that, but I'll have to go back and look at it because I'm telling you what, guys, I loved going through and watching everyone's videos for the 30-day record yourself challenge. Especially on Instagram, there's just a ton of people doing that. Even in languages that I didn't understand, it was cool. I still went and I commented and I tried to like all your photos and all your videos and everything. For the ones that I did understand, I tried to, interact and give people help when they needed it. But I just loved it. It was so great seeing everyone just become more bold and confident in recording themselves and putting themselves out there for the world to see, and not worrying about their mistakes and just progressing and learning in their language. And I had so many people telling me how 30-day Record Themselves Challenge helped make them more confident and more bold in their confidence to speak their target language. Anyways, soon after I finished the last 30-day Record Yourself Challenge, I posted this, okay? If you're not aware, where to find it. This was the schedule of subjects, of topics for the original 30-day Record Yourself Challenge. You can't really see it, but every one of those squares has a little sentence in there that's just a subject to talk about. Go back, okay. And that was a lot of fun. This is the blank schedule of topics for the next version of this for the next version of the 30-day Record Yourself Challenge. So far, I've filled in the first day and the last day. The first day is what language are you learning and why? The last day is what did you learn from doing this challenge? Okay. First day is the same as the first day of the previous version of this challenge. What language are you learning and why? And I wanted to keep that in there just because I know there's going to be a lot of people switching up and doing different languages. For example, I did French for the last 30-day challenge. This time I'm going to do it in Spanish. So, you know, I'll have something different to talk about in this one. And I'll be saying different things. I'm not just going to be repeating the same video as last time, because I'm going to be doing it in Spanish rather than French. We've also had people do the last challenge, switching up languages every day. So they didn't just choose, hello, Mike, thanks for joining. Hey, Missy. So they didn't just choose a language. Like I chose French to do the challenge. They chose French and Mandarin and Spanish and German, and they would just kind of cycle through all their languages, which is totally cool. If that's what you want to do, I always recommend people taking this challenge and running with it. Okay, so some of the suggestions that we've had so far are, okay, let me look through here. Okay, what holiday are you celebrating this month? What will you do to celebrate? Describe the weather today. Yeah, that's a good one, because even if you're doing the same language, even if you're doing the challenge in the same language again, weather's going to be different every day, right? So you'll have something different to describe. So that's a good one. Actually, I'm going to make a little Google Sheets to keep track of these. Go to Google Drive. Okay, we're gonna do Google Sheets. All right, we're gonna say, what holiday are you celebrating? We'll say next. What holiday are you celebrating next? What is the weather today? All right. Describe how you're feeling today. Yeah, that's a good one. That can always change. How are you feeling today? All right. What else we got? Describe your family. Yeah, that's a good one. And that's really nice, because describing your family is something that you're going to want to be able to do in your target language, right? I mean, some things that were, some of the topics might be things that you would just talk about less in your target language, but you're always going to want to be able to describe your family. So that's something good to learn. Describe your family. Okay. If you were a color, which one and why? If you were an animal, which one and why? Yeah, the animal one I did in the last 30-day Record Yourself challenge, which I'm actually not opposed to. Hey, Clinton, thanks for joining. I'm not opposed to repeating some. I think that's fine, especially if people are going to be doing it in different languages or whatever. I learned Norsk said, describe a typical day in your life. That's a good one. Okay. Do the animal one again. All right, I'll include that one. Just as a question to everyone who's watching on YouTube and on Instagram, how do you feel about the animal one? If you could be any animal, what would you be? All right, because if people liked that one, maybe we'll include it again. Also, for those who did the challenge last time, I am interested in hearing what you didn't like, or what questions you thought were dumb, or what questions you thought were hard to answer. One thing I am going to change differently is in the last one, I had a bunch of questions about how you learn languages, which is cool, because that's something that we all have in common, right? If you're doing the 30-day Record Yourself challenge, then you are learning a language, right? So it was cool. It helped us kind of spread some knowledge amongst each other. But when it was like, one day is how do you improve your reading? Second day is how do you improve your writing? Then it's how do you improve your vocabulary? How do you improve your listening? I feel every day. All right, SF Canola says, I think being able to describe your daily routine from morning to night is important. That could be a topic for 3 days. Don't Tread on Me says, how do you plan on using the language? Yeah, that kind of goes along with what language are you learning and why, I think. I mean, that could be its own topic, I guess. How are you going to use the language? The biggest challenge you're facing with your target language. Yeah, that was actually one of the days in the last one, but I like that one. Biggest challenge you're facing in your TL. Okay, describe a landmark in your country. That's cool, because we had a lot of different people from very different countries, so I like that. Describe a landmark in your country. Cool. Okay, what else do we have? Keep while you're learning. Okay. What are the languages you speak? What countries have you traveled to? Maybe include less questions in general about the learning process and more random or everyday questions. Yeah, I agree with that. Describe a room in your home. Okay, that could work. Describe a room in your home. I'm all stuck on adjectives. That's funny. Okay. Gotta keep switching back and forth between YouTube and Instagram to make sure I'm not missing anyone's comments. Okay. Yeah, they say maybe include less questions in general about the learning process, which I think I went really heavy on last time. Bucket list. That's a good one. Yeah, I like that. Tell us something on your bucket list. I don't know if everyone would understand what a bucket list is. For those of you who are not native speakers of English, do you know what a bucket list is? Or if you are a native speaker of English, does everyone know what a bucket list is? I might say like, what is something you want to do before you die? Really spell it out for them. But that's a good one. I like that one. Who that was from? That was from Billow. Thanks for joining. Thanks for the comment. Believe me, you are very cute. Thanks. Oops. Where am I? Oh. All right. Okay. What else do we have? My Sicilian challenge says, yeah, just keep it simple conversation subjects. Yeah, and I agree. Doesn't all need to be about language learning. Language learning questions are cool because, like I said, it's something that we all have in common, but it just got kind of heavy and a little boring. It's more fun to talk about my hobbies and my, things that are important to me, although language learning is important to all of us. Okay, you can call me Kiki instead of trying to say my username. All right, good to know. Good practice of past tense would be, how was 2018 for you? Yeah, true. Yeah, let's talk about how, how was 2018 for you? That's a great question. I think I might say, how was last year? How has your last year been? Your last year been. Yeah, that's a great use of past tense. The only reason I wouldn't say 2018 specifically is in case someone wants to go through and do this challenge later next year, or sometime in the future. I want it to still be relevant then. Favorite sport? Yeah. Favorite sport or sports team? Downtime activity, yeah. I also want to make sure everything is accessible to people who are not native speakers of English, because a lot of people are actually on this challenge doing it to learn English, right? So, if they'll be able to understand. I just want to be able to keep all the words and the language pretty simple for people to understand. Maybe say something in French, maybe just salut. As a question, I don't think I understand that. Okay. Worst injury. Yeah, that's a good one. What is the worst injury you've ever had? Yeah, that's interesting. Injury. Yeah, worst injury. Okay. How do you celebrate your birthday? Well, what else do we have? Describe your family, friends. All right, and that's all of the suggestions that I had on this thread. Let me see, what else do I have? Okay, I think it's a good idea for those. Okay, basically just people talking about how much they like the challenge. All right. Well, let's see if there's how many questions we want to keep from the last one, because some of them are reusable. Where is it? Okay. Describe the coolest moment you've had using your target language. Yeah, okay. Last time we had, what was the most embarrassing moment you've had using your target language? What is the coolest moment you've had using, we want to say the coolest language, or like most memorable moment, or best moment? We'll work out the wording later. Okay, what is the coolest moment you've had using your target language? And for those who don't know, he's referencing the last time we had, hello everyone that's joining right now, thanks for joining. He's referencing last time we had a question in the challenge that was, what is the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you using your target language? Usually it's like some big blunder or mess up, or you use the wrong word and it meant something really bad. So yeah, that would be a cool parallel to last time. What's the coolest thing that's ever happened to you? Kevin Broad says, I think next time I'm going to do Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, and maybe Japanese. Kevin, are you watching on Instagram and YouTube at the same time? That's pretty epic. Okay. He says, I feel I can still improve my Portuguese even if it's my native language. Yeah. Can't hurt. All right. Spirit animal. I don't know what I would say for spirit animal. Okay, to me that's very similar to the animal would you be. Am I right? Is it something different? Kevin says, what's your ideal job? What did you do last weekend? What are you going to do tomorrow? Yeah, what are you going to do tomorrow would be a good future tense practice. Or how about what will you do next weekend? This weekend. What will you do this weekend? This coming weekend. Nita says, when I speak English, I have a mistake. Yeah, we all do it. Hello, Julie Polyglot 40. Thanks for joining. Easy recipes in your target language. Ooh, that's interesting. Especially for someone who, like me, who does not know how to cook well. Describe the recipe. Describe your favorite recipe. Yeah. Favorite recipe in your target language. That's a good one. Not so much for me, because I would be like, my favorite recipe is when I take the Hot Pocket and put it in the microwave, and then I press 1 minute and 30 seconds. Or I know how to make ice cubes, but I know a lot of people would really enjoy that one. So that's a good one. All right. What is your profession? What might oh, that might have been from last time. Yeah, there was what job do you have or your dream job? So that's a good one. Recipes. Yeah, see, we already got a lot of enthusiasm for that one. Thanks for joining, for those who are still joining. Man, Instagram is cool because it shows me whenever a new person joins and I can wave to them. All right, describe your favorite book, show, movie. Yeah, that's a good one. I think in the last one we did there was one day it was describe your favorite book, one day was describe your favorite movie or something, but yeah, totally. We could do, I mean, that could be one day. You just choose your favorite book, your movie, or show. Okay, your favorite. Okay. Do you plan to study any endangered languages? Are you asking that to me? I don't have any plans in the near future of studying it. Or was that design meant to be a question? Di nostra vita. Oh, and no soy Rigoberto. Thanks for joining. Oops, I keep doing that because I don't know how to do this Instagram live stream. Okay, there we go. Question. Goals for this year. Yeah, that's a good one. What goals do you have for this year? Also, I want to. So we want to avoid yes or no questions, obviously, because you don't want to just start recording your video and then say "we" and then turn off the camera, right? Hopefully, we're going to be able to submit questions that are going to get people to really think and talk and kind of stretch their vocabulary, maybe have to look up new words that they don't already know before. If you had $1 million just for one day, what would you spend it on? That's a great question. If you had $1 million, what would you do with it? What word or sound do you struggle with the most in target language? Yeah, there's another language learning question. Okay, that's a good one. I think before speaking about how improve English sentence. You got to do the 30-day record yourself challenge if you want to improve your English. Okay. Let's go through some of these old ones that we had in the last one. If you had the choice to know 5 languages at C2 level or 300 languages at A2 level, which would you choose and why? Interesting. Yeah. I have to we have to be more concise because I have to fit them into these little square boxes on the schedule, but that's a good one. You rather, how would you word that more concisely? Would you rather know 5 languages at C2 or 300 at A2? Cool. Okay. Last time we had where do you live? What is it like there? You know, very important stuff to know how to describe in your target language. Would you rather? The would you rather game is a good source of material. That's true. That is true. For those of you who have ever played would you rather, you can probably look up tons of would you rather questions on the internet. Maybe I'll do that if I finish this live stream and I still need more material. Where have you traveled to or want to travel? What regional accent and dialect are you learning? That's one that a lot of people kind of struggle with. So that's not going into the second version. describe your regional accent. I thought, you know, if you're learning English, then you can talk about learning American English or British English. I was learning French, and I was specifically learning Canadian French, so I talked about that. I figured, you know, if you're learning Spanish, you can say Castilian Spanish or, you know, Mexican Spanish or Argentine Spanish. But, you know, I guess for those who are learning, well, I don't even know. I guess for most people who were learning French, they were just like, I don't know, I'm just learning French. Or German, you know, people were learning Japanese or something, and or Korean, you know, Korean. I don't know if there's tons of dialects or tons of like regional. I'm sure there's, you know, there's regional accents in every language, but a lot of people were just not familiar with what accent or what dialect they were learning. Hey, Nurse Yeg. I don't know how to say that, but thanks for joining. All right, so we had what regional accent / dialect are you learning? That one's getting canked. Describe your favorite hobby, which is very relevant to anyone that, well, you know, that's just stuff that you want to know how to say in your target language. So do I already have that one? Your favorite hobby? That one can probably go in again. Describe one of your hobbies. Okay. What music do you listen to in your target language? How do you improve your speaking in your target language? Yeah, I went really heavy on the how do you learn questions in the last one, and it's going to be different this time. It'll be more just conversations about, you know, just everyday stuff, just fun questions, just to get your mind going. It doesn't all have to be about how you learn languages and stuff. Funny moments in Spain and France. Is that a question for me? Because, you know, that's not really a question to put on the challenge. What level do you want to reach in your target language? Yeah, again, kind of like, that's a hard question to answer. Well, I want to learn French good, right? Like, how do you answer that? I don't know. Probably wasn't the best choice for last time, but it was, last one was our first challenge, and, you know, it's just going to get better as we go along. What's going on? Norsk Yeager Jana, I don't know how to say that. Thanks for joining. What's going on? If you had a superpower, what would it be? Yeah, was that on the last one? I can't remember. I feel like that was maybe that was on the last one. I don't remember. I feel like I talked about flying or something. But we can put that for sure, at least in the list of possibilities. Superpower. All right. Okay, any thoughts on making each day a little longer than the last? Yeah, I like keeping all the videos about a minute long. Okay, because you don't realize how difficult it is to be consistent with something every single day if you're making 10-minute long videos, right? A minute long video is pretty easy. Even if you're pretty new to the language, you look up a few words and then you just record yourself saying it. And a big part of the challenge is just being comfortable with making mistakes and letting people see your mistakes. You know, it's not clean. It's kind of, I don't know, quick and dirty, but you're just letting people see the vulnerable side of you, you know, the human side of you when you make mistakes. Add one challenge, in theory, works up to a 15-minute conversation. Yeah, that's just not what this challenge is. I mean, you know, there could be other ones where totally you do that. But this one is just stay consistent every day doing short little videos. What would you choose as your last meal? It would show a lot about people's cultures and backgrounds. Yeah, okay. I'll include one What would you choose as your last meal? Interesting. I can see that being good. That kind of goes along with, we have kind of a food theme going on here. Say a recipe in your target language. Okay, in theory, you're more fluent each time, right? If it's a regional dish, they can describe what it is. Yeah, exactly. Okay, what else we got going on here? If you could be an animal, which one? Do you learn languages in class or self-teach? How do you improve your listening in your target language? Yeah, see, like all these questions just about like how you learn languages. It's going to be different next time. What is your biggest life goal? Oh, we had that one. Okay. What is the weather today? That one is going in this second one again. What books have you read in your target language? What keeps you motivated to learn your target language? Yeah, these are, now looking back, like these are dumb questions that I had in the last one. I'm surprised so many people were like so passionate about it, because these are hard questions to answer. What is your biggest struggle in language learning? Do you prefer the city or the country? Yeah, see, that's a good one. Do you prefer the city or the country? Right? Like that's just something that you probably already know off the top of your head and that you can just talk about. It's lunchtime, that's why. That's funny. Okay. What is something that bothers you? Say a tongue twister in your target language. That one might go in again. Tongue twister. Say a tongue twister in your target language. Because even if you are doing the same language again a second time, you can still say a different tongue twister. So that'd be good. Hi, Sarah. Thanks for joining. Your internal mind is very good. Thank you. Okay, let's see. What else do we have in here? Say tongue twister. What was your favorite subject in school? Yeah, that's a good one. Probably. I mean, that's not it's not good enough to repeat, but that was a good one for the last time. If we can think of something like that. El perro corrió sobre el ferrocarril. The dog ran on the railroad. Yeah. Like I said, they don't all need to be about learning your language. I kind of overdid that one last time, but travel, yeah, cool. How do you learn new vocabulary? How do you improve your writing? What resources do you use for language learning? Man, yeah. Last time was, I still thought it was great. I loved doing the 30-day challenge in November. But looking back, I definitely could have used some help coming up with better questions for the challenge. Okay, Paul Nation recommends the 5-4-3 exercise. You try to say something for 5 minutes, then the same thing for 4, then 3. Oh, and then in theory, you're more fluent each time. Yeah, makes total sense. That might be something good to, like a good strategy to recommend for this challenge. But still, I'm only gonna ask people to upload minute-long videos, especially since Instagram doesn't let you upload videos longer than a minute. Maybe this time it should be a poem or a song for what? For which question? I'm not sure what question you're referring to there, Jewel Polyglot. How many languages do you know? Yeah, that goes. Last time we had a question that was, how many languages do you speak, and how many do you want? Like, what languages do you also want to learn? Something along those lines. Okay, so let's go through some of these that we already have in here. What holiday? Okay, what holiday are you celebrating next? And how do you celebrate? What is the weather today? Oh, instead of a tongue twister. Yeah, well, we could do song or poem. But I like the tongue twister one. Tongue twisters are great for learning languages. Okay. What is your favorite or poem? Yeah, that's a great question. Okay, what holiday are you celebrating next? What is the weather today? How are you feeling today? You know, things that could be changing every time. So even if you're doing the challenge again in the same language, you'll still have something you need to talk about. Describe your family. Describe a typical day in your life. The biggest challenge you face in your target language. Describe a landmark in your country. Describe a room in your home. Tell us something on your bucket list. How has your last year been? Just delete some of these. Okay. How has your last year been? Or what was it? Okay. What is your favorite sport or sports team? What is your favorite leisure activity or hobby? Maybe we would just say leisure activity. Is hobby the same thing as a leisure activity? I feel like if you're learning English, you might not know what a leisure activity is. Maybe. I don't know. If you're a native speaker of English, correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, Nine Man says, sorry, I'm late or dumb. What is the purpose of the challenge? Okay, the challenge is to record yourself speaking your target language, the language that you're learning, for 1 minute a day for 30 days in a row. And we'll give you different topics to talk about. There's a schedule of 30 different days and different things to talk about on every day. Yeah, it gives them something to talk about, and just allows you to become more confident speaking your target language and letting other people see it. Okay, what makes you really happy? Yeah, that's a good one. We'll include that one. What makes you really happy? Okay. Favorite sport or sports team, favorite leisure activity, the worst injury you've ever had, which could be very interesting and potentially comical. Maybe it should be the worst or the funniest injury you've ever had. I'm going to put that in parentheses. Worst or funniest injury you've ever had. Okay. How do you celebrate your birthday? What is the coolest moment you've had using your target language? What will you do this coming weekend? Describe your favorite recipe in your target language. It doesn't even need to be in your target language. Just describe your favorite recipe. Everything is in your target language, right? Kind of goes without saying. Describe your favorite recipe. What is your favorite book, movie, or show, or TV show? We'll put it like that. Or TV show. What goals do you have for this year? If you had $1 million, what would you spend it on? What word or sound do you struggle with most in your target language? Would you rather know 5 languages at C2 or 300 at A2? Describe one of your hobbies. If you could have a superpower, what would you choose? What would you choose as your last meal? Say a tongue twister in your target language. What is your favorite song or poem? And what makes you really happy? Nita asks, if you don't mind, can I ask your age? I'm 29. Yellow Sky 1 says, hi, Fing Tam. I just wanted to ask you about the second language learners. According to your experiences, what is the first challenge to face the feeling of embarrassment? While practicing. Well, that's part of what this whole challenge is about, is being able to face your fear of speaking, right? Because we all know how difficult it is to speak your target language especially in front of native speakers, but really in front of anyone in general. It's hard, right? You don't want to speak. You don't want to make mistakes in front of other people. But if you don't put yourself out there and try, you're never going to learn. So that's what part of this challenge is all about, just to practice getting out there and taking a risk and speaking your target language in front of other people. What is your most common dreams? Yeah, okay. What, or tell us about a dream that you remember. It's a good one. Cool. Well, we have 29 suggestions here, and I'm not going to use all of them. Some of them might get put on a waiting list for the third iteration of the 30-day Record Yourself challenge. Some of them might just get discarded if I don't think they'll fit. And I'll probably recycle some old ones from the last one. So if we have any other suggestions within the next minute or so, I guess I'll take some of those. Craziest present you ever got? Yeah, that's a good one. Best gift. Okay, so if we have any other suggestions within the next minute or so, I'll take those. I guess I'll just go through. I'll go through and read some of these. What holiday are you celebrating next? What is the weather today? How are you feeling today? Describe your family. Describe a typical day in your life. The biggest challenge you face in your target language. Describe a landmark in your country. Describe a room in your home. Tell us something on your bucket list. How has your last year been? Favorite sport or sports team? Favorite leisure activity? Worst or funniest injury you've ever had? How do you celebrate your birthday? What is the coolest moment you've had using your target language? What will you do this coming weekend? Describe your favorite recipe. What is your favorite book, movie, or TV show? What goals do you have for this year? If you had $1 million, what would you spend it on? What word or sound do you struggle with most in your target language? Would you rather know 5 languages at C2 or 300 at A2? Describe one of your hobbies. What superpower would you choose? What would you choose as your last meal? Say a tongue twister in your target language. What is your favorite song or poem, and what makes you really happy? Tell us about a dream that you remember and the best gift you ever got. What about to ask past tense things? Past things to train the past tenses, like what did you do yesterday? Yeah, exactly. That's why we have like, how was last year for you? But yeah, what did you do yesterday? Well, what will you do this weekend to train your future tense? I like that. Okay. What are your conversation starters in your foreign language? Do they differ between languages? Yeah. Great stuff. And also, the other thing that I really like about this is not only are you going to be having to look up words and kind of train yourself to speak in your target language, but if you're on Instagram especially, but to some extent also on YouTube, you're going to be seeing other people post their videos, and then you're going to be getting training by watching them and seeing how they do it. So it's all great. What was the last one? What are your conversation starters? Okay. Do you have any? Oh, we have 31 suggestions so far. If you guys think of any other good ones, just leave me a comment, whether that's on Instagram or on YouTube. Send me a private message or something, or just leave a comment on one of my Instagram photos or on one of my videos. With that said, I guess that is going to be the end of this live stream. So thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.